my pain. Look at my life. People don't know the shit that I'm.
Motherfuckers used to be fucking right here, leaving their condoms right here and shit. And then I remember right here, bro. I used to be like 16, bro, 15. When I was going through it, like the older homies were like, they're stuck up on drugs, like hitting the pookie and shit, like doing crystal. I used to be right here, like just sitting down with them, like 4 of them and shit. They were doing that shit, but like I said, they were always cool with me, and they never really like. They always knew like, hey, don't ever do this shit. You feel me? Like I feel like I got blessed with good friends and shit, because a lot of us would have probably made me want to do that shit or something, but they always told me like, stay away from this shit. But I remember that shit. I was like 16. No fool hitting the pookie right here. You can see the clouds and shit. Like, it has a smell to it, bro. That shit's nasty, bro. Like, you know, right here, man, these stairs are fucked up, man. It's just, you know, right here back then too. Right here, we used to have a sofa right here. And right here, there'd be a sofa. All the homies would be kicking it deep and shit. This is what I'm talking about, like 13 years ago, you know? We used to, big ass sofa right here. Motherfuckers kicking it, writing, all this shit. Yeah, man, that was a long time ago. Right here, we were little kids. We used to play soccer right here. And then you see that fence over there? That fence over there used to have a hole. So all the kids from the casitas, they used to come right here and shit. We'll play each other against each other. We'll be playing tag or some shit. We used to be running around, all this shit, bro. Sometimes we'll put on the boxing gloves and shit. We'll be fighting each other. Like, man, this was when we were kids, bro. Like, all this shit. We'll play throughout the whole building and shit. Like, playing tag and shit. Like, the whole building. That's how deep we were. We were like 30 of us. Like, we were enough kids to play throughout the whole building and over there, too. There used to be a hole right here. Look, the casitas are famous, bro. Like, if you know, you know, you know. It has a lot of shit. But there used to be a hole right here, look, right here. Like, shh. And the kids would come in, like, you know, we'd be running around and shit. That shit was sick, bro. Oh, man, I grew up right here, bro. Like, my whole life was right here as a kid, my childhood. I remember playing soccer and shit. We'll be playing. It was already like 12, 11. I used to just hear my dad whistle from up there and shit. I heard his whistle. I already knew it's time to go home. And I would never want to go home, but, you know, my dad was strict. My dad used to fuck us up, you know. My dad was cool, though. My dad was a good dad. He was just strict, you know. He would be strict. As a kid, I was scared of my dad, you know. I thought had a strong character, you know. But he was cool. My pops was cool. There's a story, too, with my brothers. They were throwing rocks and shit. One of my older brother, he was probably like 12 years old, 11, maybe 10. They were throwing rocks from the balcony, and they ended up breaking a window right there from somebody. And then, in the cars and shit. Eventually, the cops showed up like a couple of days later. But they got caught because there's a camera up there in that building. There's a camera up there, and then it caught them throwing rocks. They broke someone's window. The cops came and shit. I remember my dad. I think I don't know what happened. My dad had to pay for that shit. I don't know. I remember my dad was pissed the fuck off, you know. But man, we used to be mocosos and shit. Like, we were crazy, bro. In the alley over there, the older homie used to make us put on the gloves and shit. Like, we used to fight like with the gloves, and we'll be fighting and shit. I'm gonna send you that video. There's a video of me when I used to roll fighting with the gloves and shit. Ryan.
Say stop when you want, Brian. Say stop when you want. Hey, now let him go. All right, go. Let go. All right, separate it. Come over here. All right, come over here. All right, then. Go. Watch out. Go. Go. You got mad, huh, when you fell? All right, go.
But it all starts off there, you know. And, you know, I believe, like, you know, having my father figure in my life, it helped me a lot, you know, like, to be the man I am today. Because I feel like when I was a kid, when all the older homies were kicking it, and I wanted to be outside, and I wanted to be influenced too, like, my dad would fucking regulate my ass, like, come get my ass, you know? And then the homies would be like, fool, just go home, nigga. Like, you right here making a scene. Because my mama would come down sometimes, too. Like, go home. She would not leave until I leave. I was probably, like, 11, 12 years old, and I wanted to keep kicking it. But, like, the homies would probably they'll just tell me, like, go home, fool. Like, you know, like, don't make a scene. You know, my mom's not going to leave until I leave, you know? So, I had to just go home. But, like, even if I didn't have, like, my dad around, I probably wouldn't even listen to my mom. You feel me? Like, I feel like a father's job is to like lay that force that your mom can't do, you know? Your mom can't fuck, like, you know, like, so as a kid, you don't really, you listen to your mom, but not to the extent as you do to your father, you know? Like, your father is that force, that your father should be that man to, like, set the rules, you feel me? Like, you know, like, he's the one that sets the rules in the house, you know? You never go against it as a kid, you can't, you shouldn't. And then when there's no dad around, like, the mom can't do that, you know? Like, mom's working. When there's no dad around, mom's always working 2 jobs and shit. And then you just got all the time in the world to do whatever the fuck you want. And when as a kid, your only choices are to do bad shit, you know? So that's what it is, bro. Like, everything all comes down, like, man, straight up, broken environments, broken homes lead to broken people, you know? And maybe now your broken home will lead you to destruction, but your broken environment will, you know? Because don't get me wrong, some people had father figures in their life and they fucked up too. But that's because the environment we grew up at, fool. Like, it's everywhere. Like I say, man, we're destined to fail. We're not destined to make it out. I had a great father, bro, and we all have, like, I have my fucking trauma. I still have my own, like, you know, not my trauma, but I still have my downs. My brothers deal with a drug problem too, you know, but that's because of the way we grew up, you know? Like, drugs are everywhere, bro. And like I said, bro, like, all these things lead to broken people, and I just want to change that shit. Like, I'm sober, bro, and I just want to tell people, like, being sober is the right way to go, you know? I want to give hope to the place where I'm from. Like, it's not just negativity, you know? There's positivity out here too, but it's rare, you feel me? It's rare. There's more hate, there's more negativity than that light, you know? And I want to be that light, fool. And that's why I want to make it big, because if I make it big, my light just gets bigger, and I could shine it on my environment, you know? I am that light. I'm that hope that, you know, that some people don't feel, you know, like, you might not have it, but if you see my music, you see what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to pursue, what I'm trying to be in life, it could probably inspire the next generation, you know, and that's what I want to push. I ain't trying to push negativity, don't get me wrong, I might say stupid shit in my music, but if you look deep in it, if you look deep in my lyrics, you look deep in what I'm trying to do, my grind, my faith, and you really tap in, you're going to see, like, I ain't just negative, bro. I got a lot to offer, I got a lot to say, and I know one day I'm going to change someone, like, change the youth. That's my dream, you know, that's my destiny, that one day, I believe that one day, like, there's gonna be people out there that look up to the music and they're gonna get inspired just how I got inspired by other great rappers and people, you know? Shit, throughout this whole neighborhood right here, like, up the hill. Nah, but it was mostly like in the building and right here too. We'll be right here. That little fence I was telling you about. Hola, hola, ¿todo bien? ¿Todo bien? Hola, hola. So right here, we used to play right here. Back then, it wasn't it's people's properties now, you know? But back then, shit was open, so like you could run through the middle and shit, like, and then, like, you know, like right here, it's someone's property, but back then it was nobody's property. You could like run through here, run through the middle of the houses, and we'll just be always playing around and shit, like everywhere, you know. We're kids, bro, like. And then, like, you know, we could walk more right here. That's a little fence right there, and then you cross over where I live at. But man, man, right here it was beautiful, like when we were kids and shit. And back then, like, when I was growing up, man, it used to be a lot of fools right here, like, gangbangers, you feel me, bald-headed motherfuckers, you know, like, a lot of fools right here would be banged out, you know, and we were kids, we were seeing that shit. But I think when we were playing and shit, like, we were blind to that shit, you know, like, we didn't know shit, like, we were just little kids and shit. But there were situations sometimes, too, like, when we were playing, and then, like, fools would, like, start dumping over there in the front, and then, like, we were kids, we had to, like, duck, you know, like, we'll be ducking, like, what the fuck, like, people are shooting and shit, like, it's crazy. But, man, I miss all this shit. We were kids, bro. Everything's different now. Like, all this wasn't here back then. All this shit wasn't here. We were just chilling and shit. But, yeah, bro, it's my childhood right here, man, running through here. But mostly in the building, too, over there, playing soccer. We had fun, bro. We had fun. We're little kids and shit. A lot of things changed. It's not the same no more, but it's just memories I always have as a kid, you know? Shit was lit. Shit. Now it's just different. Not the same, but it's cool, you know? But yeah, man, all this shit. I grew up right here. I grew up in this building. And people gonna hate it. People might hate it on it. People gonna dislike it. People might hate me for it because right here is, you know, y'all already know there's a crowd that hangs here. And people don't, you know, they don't fuck with us, but I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna always show where I come from. I grew up in this building. I grew up in 5th and Burlington. and then the section is called Westlake, you know. I grew up in Westlake my whole life since I was like 4 years old, you know. And yeah, I gotta represent where I come from, you know. Y'all already know. Y'all already know, man, we chilling. Yes, sir.